So these are my Master League draft battles with Prisoner of War. These are our lineups. I was mostly worried about his first three, Dragonite, Lugia, and Mew, especially Lugia because it's a tank, but then also maybe Mew because of its moveset Insanity. Though I kind of expected Focus Blast because of my Tyranitar, which kind of did well against most of his team. So just to kind of keep Swish advantage, I decided it would be safe to lead Tyranitar because the only bad news would be if he led Poliwrath, and then I would just switch to Giratina, which like does pretty well against everything too. So first he leads Gengar, which I'm quite okay with. A couple Shadow Claws. But look how much Smackdown's doing. That's great. I did debate a little bit between Smackdown and Bite, but Smackdown just kind of hits everything. It's good. Switch to Giratina. This is exactly what happened in... Oh no, I did do some training battles with PvP, but it was any lead into Tyranitar, they just switched to Poliwrath, which is like, okay, sure, I can counter that. Gengar does win in all scenarios against Poliwrath, I believe. I have my paper here, so that's what that sound is. Yeah, it wins in all scenarios, but if I don't shield and he shields twice, it's like the rating on PvP is 521, so it's a little dicier just because of those ice punches, but I figure I can afford it. At this point, I am still expecting that the rest of the team is probably going to be Lugia or Mew or Dragonite, because now I've seen Poliwrath and Gengar. So it is actually kind of a tough call. I'm not totally sure, because it's not been what I expected yet, but I did expect Poliwrath, though, just because of Tyranitar. And I thought he would switch into it, because I think that wouldn't be a good lead. Switches back to Gengar, hit it with the Dragon Claw. I don't know if I would have blocked that if I were him. Anyways, so now I get this Dragon Claw on Dragonite. Switch to Tyranitar, which almost has a Stone Edge ready. Hell yeah. I might have been able to get away with a crunch there. I'll have to look a bit closer at how much HP that Dragonite had. Because that would save me some energy to use against this Gengar, but it's looking pretty okay for me, so it should be fine. Here, I was thinking like, oh, it's probably just Shadow Ball, maybe I shouldn't shield, but again, I don't want to do like a stupid shield flex and then lose. That would be the worst feeling. But it was looking like I'll probably be okay, but you know, I don't want to be reckless. It's always better to just win than to flex and lose. Well, obviously. Yeah, it's better to win than lose. That's a good observation. Yeah, no, I don't feel bad about that. I figure here I'm just going to stick with that same lineup. I thought he might lead Poliwrath this time. Looking at his past battles, I don't know if he's going to listen to this. Looking at his past battles, he tends to counter the previous lead a lot. So I did expect Poliwrath here. And what do you know? It's not Poliwrath, it's Mew. Well, if Mew has Focus Blast, I think it's still the same purpose as what I thought. Now here, I'm counting the Snarls. I did make a move counting chart with both Shadow Claw and Snarl, because I wasn't sure which one he'd be using. Hit that Crunch. Now, at this point, I think he's used 6 Snarls. And so that's how much you need for a Focus Blast. And I was expecting a Focus Blast, but it was a Psy Shock. That feels so stupid. But then he does a couple more Snarls, and like, he uses another Psy Shock. I'm not going to shield. And the thing is, too, if I shield twice and then he does a Focus Blast because it was too... Well, anyways, point is, rip T-Tar. Fuck, that sucks. Not feeling great right now because I kind of needed that. I wonder if maybe I should have gone Giratina here. Because at this point I know that none of the Mew's charge moves can really hit me. But it's kind of a tough call because I think I'm still pretty sure that Dragonite's coming up. Yeah, Dragonite's coming up. So, oh god, those dragon breaths just hit hard. Yeah, Dragonite was probably the toughest for me to counter, just looking at my, like, charts I made. My best counter actually was Granbull, but no way was I going to bring Granbull into these battles. That just seemed way too risky. It looked like some kind of weird bug was happening there, just with the Raiku's HP displaying. Not totally sure, but I don't know. Get that Dragon Claw. It's going to get shielded. Yeah. Oof. So here I wasn't sure if it was going to be like an Outrage or Dragon Claw, but I thought basically no matter what I should shield this, so I did. Switches to Poliwrath. So, yeah, man. Things kind of just got lined up weird, and not having my Tyranitar there to kind of help work on the Dragonite was really a big loss. I'm not sure if I should have shielded that second one, because losing that shield might have been rough, but I mean, I ended up having to shield or maybe not having to. I ended up shielding a Dragon Claw. Maybe that's not that much better. I'm still locked into the Giratina. I would have loved to switch to Raikou here, but it is what it is. Now I can, and I hit the switch too late. So, so now I'm kind of fucked, because that's not that many Dragon Breaths, right? So, okay, may as well switch to Raikou, take a charge move, which is like, okay, I guess it's better that the Raikou does than Giratina, because at least, actually no, maybe not. Oh shit, yeah. Oh, because, I mean, the problem was just getting rid of that Poliwrath, and neither Raikou nor Giratina's charge, or fast moves, I mean, were doing that much. So I kind of had to use something there. And I don't, But yeah, what I'm wondering is if maybe the wild charge would have actually hit pretty hard. I think there might have been some lag there. I looked at it closely later, but it was okay just not replaying it, like accepting the loss. Yeah. Well played there, Prisoner0fWar for sure, getting me on that bait. Oh, that feels bad. That feels bad. I know with my like regular practice partners, I'm usually pretty good at reading when they're going to bait or not, but you know, that's the thing with these battles. Not always familiar in like competitive settings going to go on. Dragonite and Poliwrath, this is exactly what I was kind of imagining when I was trying to plan out what this lineup would do, so perfect. I did try out this same idea, but switching to Raikou instead of Poliwrath. Just going against the PV Poke trainer. And that one, I think I still won, but it was like a lot closer than the one where I switched to Giratina. I didn't analyze it further, but maybe it turns out that would have been better. Sometimes. I don't know. Point is, I was comfortable with this. And I like Giratina. Kind of just holds up well against everything. Prisoner0fWar is also in my Ultra League draft. And I got Giratina altered in both of them, so he's probably very sick of watching me use it. Another Ice Punch. At this point, I was kind of like, I can't remember what I did in the very first battle. I know I won that, but did I ever shield an Ice Punch or not? And thankfully, he saves me from having to make that decision by going to Gengar. Although, yeah, I don't know. I did Ancient Power there. I don't know. Well, maybe just try to get a boost, or thinking that I wouldn't be able to last to 2 Dragon Claws. Here, I was kind of like, I have no idea how Gengar is in Master League. This is brand new territory. So I just tanked the Shadow Ball because I thought I'd probably be okay, and I was, but not that much HP. So that could have gone pretty badly. Is that hubris or curiosity? I don't know. I do know that when I'm like practicing, I tend to tank more just to kind of get a sense of how much damage different moves will do. Now here, I was like, oh fuck, this is totally gonna be a focus blast. I am not flexing and not shielding a Shadow Ball here, because that's like bad news. It was a Poliwrath, but thankfully Smackdown puts in the work. I take it out before it can try to hit me with anything. I have Stone Edge ready for Dragonite, which is satisfying because he doesn't have shields. This is what Stone Edge is born to do. Doesn't totally take it out, but one more Smackdown does the trick, and then Gengar goes by. So yeah, that was my battles against Prisoner of War. Good games, a lot of fun.